let's go to the film industry, the movie industry, the entertainment sector, and see what Bolanle Osteepinters has been doing. You know, sort of the Broadway thing we all go abroad to do. We see what she's done with Fela, you know, shows and things like that. And you might see it as entertainment, but that is economy. You know, that is adding so much to the economy, providing jobs to a lot of youths, the great Nigerian youths, providing job, you know, gainful employment. I think that is one fantastic thing you want to see from there. If you look at Uber, we all talk about today, if I remember correctly, Uber was conceptualized by a lady, and we see what has done even to Nigeria, you know. So celebrating women in creativity is fundamental, and I think it's something that is long overdue, and I salute the courage of WIPO coming up with this idea to celebrate women in creativity, you know, this year.
Now, if my memory serves me right, Chinyere, music is also an important part of this, and they have been championing their own cause for quite some time now, insisting that their music is their intellectual property, and they need to get paid every time their music is used, whether on television or on radio. Are you working with them at all?
Oh, yes, most certainly. I mean, as a firm, the IP actually covers various areas. So I guess it would come under copyrights. That is the music industry, film also that Obafemi mentioned. And so in terms of the music rights, we represent quite a few of the music companies. I mean, Femi will remind me, that's his idea in particular. And we're seeing a lot of change in Nigeria. I think Nigeria is at a stage where it's evolving. When you look at the developed economies in the West, in terms of the Hollywood, the movie stars and music, I mean, that you asked me, they have what you call collecting societies. And those collecting societies are responsible for, when you use the music in various endeavors, you're supposed to pay what you call some sort of a royalty. So the collecting societies gather these monies together and are in turn meant to now pay the artists. So in Nigeria, I think that we've made quite a few strides. I think, is it COSON?
COSON, yes.
It's COSON, yes. I mean, there were a little bit of squabbles here and there, but I think right now we are satisfied that we have a collecting agency in Nigeria that is responsible for collecting these royalties.
And it's credible.
It's credible. It's credible. It's recognized by the government, I believe. So we have made a lot of headway, but I think a lot more can be done. A lot more can be done.
So this is actually a celebration. So where is this celebration taking place?
Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Okay,
yes.
so the celebration is going to be at the Wheat Baker, Ikoyi, Lagos, on the 26th of April, and it's going to start at 8:30 in the morning. So it's like a breakfast celebration, and we're going to have a female artist. That's Fiben. She's a saxophonist, so she's going to be performing on that day as well. You know, so we're going to be showcasing her as well on that day. And then we're going to have, because it's a collaboration with WIMBIS, that's the Women in Business and Management. So on that day, we're going to have the chairperson, Mrs. Aboderin Talabi. She's going to be speaking on that day. She's going to be speaking on showcasing the women creative in Nigeria. And then we're going to be talking about the women creative and ascending beyond cultural limitations. So as we've earlier discussed, and then we're also going to have panelists. So our panelists are going to be from the Bank of Industry, Mrs. Cynthia Nwoka. She's the group head of the creative industry in that bank. She's going to be talking about the finance, how they've been able to finance the women in creativity and innovation. So we're also going to have Mrs. Nini Akikunbe, who is the founder of the Best Games Limited in Nigeria, the Monopoly in Nigeria, and the Bible Games. We're going to be having our own partner as well. That's the head of the intellectual property practice of the firm, Mrs. Owa Oyuko. She's also going to be on the panel.
And deal with the legal side.
So she was going to be talking about the legal side. How can you protect this creative that you've been able to discover, or you've been able to create and also innovate? And then we're going to be having our Honorable Despot Elliott. He's going to be moderating the session and leading the panels as a film producer and what he has been able to do in terms of encouraging women.
Okay.
You know, and we thought we should liven it up with a guy, you know, not just women on the back.
I'm a very interesting guy. You
At that,
too.
yes.
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Okorocha, the theme for this year's event, powering change, women, innovation, and in creativity.
Yes.
Why do you think that theme came?
Okay, so I think that there's a worldwide drive to recognize women. It's like a wave. If you recall, recently in the International Women's Day, there was this thing about gender parity, and they talked about equal pay the world over, and there were like, demonstrations and all that going on. And I think it's a wave. Things come in seasons. And I think that's why WIPO has decided that, you know, let's single out the women to recognize the achievements they have made. Because it's such a man-dominated world. It's the truth. I mean, come on, guys.
It is true, whether you like to admit it or not.
Whether you like it or not,
Yeah.
you know. So I think that, like Tolu mentioned, most of the inventions that you hear about, they're usually men. And I think that this time, WIPO has decided that let's showcase the women, you know, as a separate genre, so to speak.
Do you know what you know what is going through my mind is that maybe you're not even aware of how many more women you're going to encourage to do things with this recognition.
Oh my God, that's
Maybe
true.
some are laid back,
Yeah.
thinking nobody's going to notice anyway, so why should I bother?
Yes.
And this whole event and this celebration, if there's enough noise made about it, how many others is going to urge on?
That is absolutely.
Okay, women are now being recognized.
Yeah.
That thing I've been hiding, I've got to bring it out now and show the world what I have done.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I must say that we've actually been celebrating women on the World Intellectual Property Day celebration in Nigeria.
Well, you
2
haven't
years
been telling
ago.
us.
It was Mrs. Mobola Johnson, former Minister for
Communication
Yeah.
and
IT.
Technology.
Yes.
She was the lead speaker.
Yes.
And last year it was Mo Habudu celebrating the film industry. And this year again, we have all the women.
I mean, it's a coincidence, actually.
So is it open to
Okay.
all women, or is it strictly an invitation?
Well, basically, the event is open to everyone, but would require people to just RSVP for planning purposes so that all the logistics can be in place.
RSVP, do you RSVP when you get an invite?
No, I mean, for the general people,
yes.
you know, some people have direct invitations, and then for people who, I mean, a lot of people are watching the TV this morning, they've heard about it, they want to come, we would like you to just make sure you contact
How
us
do they
for planning
contact?
purposes.
Okay, so you can send an email to bd@jacksonetsyandedu.com.
Hold on. BD at
Jackson.
BD.
Yes.
Business
Jackson.
Business Development at jacksonetsyandedu.com.
Eti.
And A-N-D.
E-double-T-I.
I mean, I know it's so long, isn't it?
Jackson Etty
And edu.com.
.com. So BD at jacksonetsyandedu.com.
and
edu.com. That's where you send a mail to
Yes.
if you want to be a part of the conversation on the 26th of April, and it's completely free
at the Wheat
Yes, it's free
Bakers.
at the Wheat
completely
Baker.
free.
at the Wheat Baker.
Yes, it
but
is.
it has to be pre-registered, right?
Yes.
It's like a pre-registration.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right.
Exactly.
And then we also like to thank
Is it just for
channel-
women?
No,
Oh, the men can come too.
no.
we have to support them.
We have
You know,
support,
it's
right?
really
So-
innovators, those in the creative industry, regulators, those in government,
Yeah.
you know, those in business too, you know, male or female.
Entrepreneurs.
It's not just female.
But to be recognized this year are just females.
It's to be recognized this
Okay.
year.
So I
Yes,
can come.
exactly. Oh,
Yes, you
yes,
can, of
please,
course. We'll
please
let
do.
Absolutely.
Please do.
I need some support.
I'll have to pre-register.
Okay. Okay, we'll take a moment. We'll come back. We'll tell us what the beyond here. What next? Please don't go away.
Okay.